Aquarius, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Deborah with Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is my channel, Purusha Intuitive. Welcome, welcome. If it is your first time, I do all things holistic wellness, mind, body, soul, baby. That's why we do these tarot readings. I am doing this for end of December. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You can be a cross watcher. You guys know the drill. I do feel like the readings are timeless. Like if that message resonates with you, then it's definitely something Spirit has for you. And yeah, let's see what's going on for the end of the year. Happy holidays, everyone. I hope life is happy, beautiful, and blessed. All right, so that's one's been kind of kicking me in the butt. I say that and then, you know, some heavy energy falls out, right? So addiction, okay. So, you know, I feel like with you, Aquarius, there is a codependent dynamic that you're working with. This is where it's either that runner chaser, someone's always kind of vying for control. You know, there might be some substance addictions there, you know, alcohol, drugs, gambling, you know, shopping, money, whatever. Everyone's situation is going to be different. That's not for everybody, right? You know, but if you're sensing that from this person, you know, or situation that you're dealing with, it just kind of has like a very heavy energy around it, you know, not the healthiest. Kind of toxic, you know. I mean, obviously we can label it all day long, but I feel like this, you know, it's this situation that brings you into this very like kind of controlling dynamic persona of yourself, where it's like you feel like, you know, anytime we're trying to control all the stuff in our life, which just is an illusion, right? We get so wound up, right? Because we're trying so hard to make something work. And sometimes we just have to release it. Sometimes we just have to let it go and let it be what it is. And this energy does talk about you finding space to do that, finding ways, you know, to kind of like let go and release of all the drama, all the hurt, all the pain, because it's almost like that's what the addiction has been between you and this person or you in this situation. You keep getting drawn back in because, you know, yeah, you're trying to control it on one level, but I feel like it's also something that controls you as well. And I feel like when we're in that space, right, we can get obsessive, we can fixate on things that, like, you know, maybe at this moment in time we can't do anything about. So we have to find ways to like make ourselves feel happy and good and take care of ourselves, right? And I like this self-indulgent energy for you, because I do feel like you do have to look at some things. This isn't just about like getting wasted, you know, or something like that. It's self-indulgence in the way of just like nurturing your soul, you know. So taking time apart, spending time with yourself, reflecting, doing some self-care, you know, kind of just like honoring things that you want in your life. And the more that you do that, the more that it's going to release this person, place, or thing that you keep kind of getting sucked back into, you know. Letting yourself grow, letting yourself evolve. And part of this is going to be releasing the past, right? You know, shit happens. Life is life is life. Unfortunately, you know, I would love to believe that we could all live in, you know, our little utopia. That would be great. But unfortunately, it's not the case, you know. And a lot of times, remembering too, just silver lining, these things come into our life so we can grow, so we can evolve. They're just not the most fun things to look at. But like I said, I feel like whatever the past, like there's something from the past that keeps kind of bringing you back to that space. And so that's where you do want to be really mindful with this self-indulgence, because sometimes we can go to the other extreme, right? Of hurting our own self by indulging too much in things that just might not be like very life honoring, you know? And we all know what that is for us. It's going to be different for every person. Let's look at this a little deeper, Aquarius. Okay. So King of Pentacles energy, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is very much a partnership dynamic. This could be someone, you know, it is a very masculine energy. It's a very grounded masculine energy, but it does feel like the person that you're dealing with. I feel like you're vibrating a little bit more as this Queen of Cups, sensing, you know, what this push and pull dynamic is between you and this person, right? They could be a water sign as well, but I feel like that is a little bit more of your energy. Yeah. Conflict from the past, things that keep you tied to. That's that confirmation right there for our camera. You know, and I mean, it's hard, right? Like, we can all reminisce about things that, you know, like that little boy and the puppy, like that make us feel nostalgic and, you know, bring us back into that time. There's always good, right? And there's always the not so good. And so the challenge is we have to practically see and understand what is not the highest and best for us. And this dynamic of what you've been dealing with, let's clarify a little deeper. It's harmful, you know, someone who can't show up for you, someone who takes you for granted, who doesn't see your worth and value, right? I feel like, you know, excuse me, you're exactly what they want, 100%, but they don't appreciate it, right? It's like they want to keep you in your place, doing what you're supposed to be doing, acting, behaving how you're supposed to be behaving. And if you fall out of line, that's where the codependency, the push-pull comes into play, right? I feel like they're trying to work through things with you. I don't know, but they're not really paying attention, you know? Yeah, like, you know, I feel like they, like, do they make fun of you? Do they kind of like badger you a little bit in humor? Like, oh, I'm just joking. But really they're kind of tearing you down is what I'm hearing. In their mind, they think that they're showing up for you. You know, I'm good to you. I give you what you need. I give you this, you know, we're all on the same team, but I don't necessarily feel like that's the case, or else this Four of Cups would not be showing up. Someone who's disinterested, doesn't really care to, I mean, I almost feel like they don't even really care to like, they have what they want, right, with you, but they don't really care to work at it, you know? And unfortunately, that's just not how life works or relationships work, right? We have to have that reciprocity, that give and take. You have to make deposits into that bank account, right? Or you can't withdraw. Like, it's math, right? So, all right, let's look a little deeper, guys. All right, so what's kind of tripping you up here? Let's look at that. Yeah. They have this, see, there's that control, there's that codependency coming out. They have this control, they have this authority over you. You know, you could be partnered with this person, long-term relationship, marriage, that type of thing. Or just someone who, like, you've given the control over to, you know? Like, obviously, you're the softer one out of the bunch in terms of, you know, usually when you're a little bit softer, you're more empathetic, you're understanding, you try to work with people, where Pentacles energy can be very stubborn, you know, very rigid, dictator-like. And I feel like, you know, it's not a, it's, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like forcing they're only doing it for their own agenda is what I'm hearing. Because it's not coming out of this space, right? Like we talked about, that it's the best for everybody involved. It's coming out of this space of like, well, this is what I want to do. This is what is going to make me more successful and push me forward. And it's like irrespective, you know, of what you want, what you need. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, that Nine of Pentacles just confirms it. Because Nine of Pentacles is like when we are more self-indulgent. I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? It's working hard for something, appreciating what we've worked for, like, you know, kind of like acknowledge it and validating our gifts and our achievements. But it's also a very independent energy. The Nine of Pentacles doesn't have someone with them. It's like, this is what I've done. This is, you know, how awesome I am. And I think that's great, right? But it doesn't really work when we're in a partnership, in a relationship, you know? And like I said, this could be love. This could also be work, career. Maybe I haven't said that. You know, this could be a friend who just is a little bit more selfish. Let's see. Yeah. And it's changing now. I mean, I really like that. I think, you know, I feel like, especially this week, Aquarius, you're having a lot of clarity around it. I think it's a hard pill to swallow. This happens a lot this time of year too, right? The nostalgia, kind of reminiscing, looking back to the good things in life, what we shared with people that we love, etc. The people that we've lost. You know, there is a lot of grief around the holidays, unfortunately. I think it's also, and there's been a lot of water energy too, astrologically, as an FYI. But I think it's also like, when we know how to navigate that water energy of just, you know, recognizing grief is sad, loss is sad. We do what we need to do to move through that, to heal, to give ourselves the space. But then we're also having that clarity of vision. And it's gonna change the dynamic. It's gonna make it a little chaotic. And I think you know that, right? Because there is some type of stability or normalcy with this King of Pentacles energy. But I feel like you are going to take the steps that you need to. Yeah. Let me pull one more on that. I mean, it shows you taking the steps that you need to, right? It is gonna, like I said, it's gonna cause some tension, and I think that's gonna be what you have to kind of wade through. But the more that you kind of, like we were talking about in the very beginning, don't get too sucked in, right? Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them, you know, bring you down. Don't let them mess up your holiday or whatever. If they can't level with you, if they can't like connect and communicate, etc., that's not your fault, you know? You need to well, free will. I was just gonna say, it's best to separate yourself, right? Remove yourself from the situation, because that's actually gonna give you the more clarity that you need. And the key just flipped out as I said that. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation, right? That's the key. The key is flipping the script on them, not moving back into that energy of like, I understand where you're coming from, trying to accommodate, trying to appease, because honestly, that's keeping that codependence in full force. And you know this on some level, right? But I think taking a step back, right? That self-indulging, taking time to go within, to really reflect on this person. Yeah. They say a lot of pretty things, right? They feed you what you want to hear. But if their actions are not in alignment, Aquarius, this is the thing. It's like, you know what you're gonna get with working with them. You know, this is who they are. What you've just been through, what you've just experienced, that's the cycle. people show you who they are, right? And a lot of times we get wrapped up because we're trying to make them what we want them to be, right? We want them to fulfill that fantasy or whatever it is. Unfortunately, like these learning experiences, right? They force us to kind of look at who someone is, their actions, and how they're truly showing up to kind of dictate whether they're like, you know, we can rely on them or not, whether they're people that like we want to spend our time and our energy with. And that's what this is showing you. So I'm sending lots of love and blessing to whatever you're dealing with. I hope that things move fluidly, that you see what you need to see so you can make the choices that you need to make. I would totally love to support or help look into your situation. Check out what services I offer. Definitely make sure to like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Leave some comments. Let's connect. All right, guys. Thank you. Lots of love and blessings.